And to go off of that point, Daniel, it's time to talk about Joe Kelly and the Astros situation. Of course, why can't the MLB just have no controversy, right? It's been 5, 6 days in. We've got teams dropping like flies due to COVID. And now we've got Joe Kelly suspended for 8 games for not even hitting, but throwing at Astros players. Your initial reaction is what?
The MLB cannot do anything right when it comes to the situation. First off, 8 games is an absurd amount for hitting anyone. Okay, he's getting what would be a prorated 22-game suspension for a 162-game season. Some players that commit domestic abuse in the past got 30 games. Now, they should have gotten more, but there's no way that Joe Kelly should have gotten anything close to that. I cannot believe that they gave him 8 games. I cannot believe that the MLB is, for the second time, siding with the players, first giving the Astros immunity and now giving them a shield of protection. I mean, every time that a team is going to step up to play and pitch against the Astros are not going to be scared about that inside corner anymore because they know that they're fully protected. It's disappointing. Rob Manfred should not have engaged. He should have let the game self-correct. Now that he is engaged, he's going to have to engage every single time that someone does something towards the Astros. It's a big mistake all around. And on the Astros front, just a secondary thing, I'm super happy to see that almost all of them are batting below the Mendoza line right now. They are all hitting terribly besides Carlos Correa. And I'm excited this season to see Jose Altuve bat below 300 because he's just not that good when he doesn't have banging going on. What about you?
I agree. And, it's simple as this. The Astros received no punishment, no suspension, nothing. All of the players received immunity. They received immunity. Nobody got punished. No one was suspended. No one was fined. And we've mentioned this before. Guys benefited. Bregman, Altuve, multi-million-dollar, hundreds of million-dollar contract extensions for performing well under that system. Now it's over. Now they're hitting under 200, under 100 in George Springer's case. A pitcher decides to exact revenge, and rightfully so. If I were a pitcher, I'd throw at every single one of them. And in return, the commissioner of baseball does not punish the Astros for what they did. He punishes the pitcher who tries to carry out some tough justice. That is beyond mind-boggling. It's ridiculous to me. That is just a breach of everything that the MLB has done. And, I have a ton of Facebook friends. I posted this on Facebook. You saw it. You liked it. There were ex-ball players commenting. One of them said, I'm so fed up with baseball. It's not the same sport that I played and that I was in 10, 20 years ago. And you know what? You look at the game today, just in general, but including this scandal, it is completely different. It's made people like me, and if it wasn't for my love of baseball, I would be totally alienated from the game because of the way it's being governed at the very top by Major League Baseball, by Manfred, by other guys in that executive's chair. It's sickening to me, disgusting the way all of this has been handled.
Yeah, I'm totally disappointed. I mean, the fact that Joe Kelly, and you can make the case that he only threw one of them. The second pitch to if it was Springer or Correa, that ball was a slider. And we've seen time and again, he's got no command. We saw during the pandemic when he was, still the pandemic, but when he was inside his house, he broke a window trying to throw a changeup. He's got no command of his own. Now, he did throw at his head, at Bregman's head, which I'm not a fan of. I think throwing at the head is too much. And he has thrown at people before, so he has a track record of doing this. But he only threw at one person, and so often we let pitchers slide for throwing at one person. Do you maybe give him a game for throwing at his head? Yeah, maybe. But he was exacting revenge on something that the MLB should have taken care of. And what's worse is the fact that the MLB is trying to jump in now against every other team. I don't see what they're doing. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know where they're going with it, and I'm interested to see what happens from here.
It's so funny. I had the Tampa Bay Rays broadcaster with me on the show yesterday, and he also used to be the head coach at University of Chicago and Elmhurst College, a former baseball coach who's now a broadcaster, and he used to play in college. And when we talked about it, he told me when I played, I was told one time to hit a guy, and I did it. But he was like, you know what? I knew my fastball was only 80 miles per hour, and I hit him on the butt or the lower thigh. He went to first, and that was it. And he told me, he's like, if you want to hit somebody for a purpose, do that. Aim for their butt, aim for their lower thigh, hit them, move on. Yeah, everybody's pissed in the moment, but hit them and move on. So I do agree in the sense that Kelly was wrong for going near his head. Yes, you can kill somebody. I understand it. It's not the best place to hit him. But at the same time, you know what? I think it did serve its purpose. And he didn't hit him. We could play the if game back and forth here. The reality is he was not hit, wasn't even touched by the baseball.
No. Throwing at his head, it does not matter if you hit him or not. You threw at his head. He was going to get a suspension no matter what.
Yes, he was going to get suspended, but my idea is this. It was just to send a message. I get it. I'm not advocating for throwing at the head, but I understand the mindset. I understand what was going through his head. That's all I'm saying. And you know what? 8 games is still way too long. Even if he threw at his head, whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
Way too long to give a guy who has not cheated, has not done anything wrong, versus the cheaters on the field who are reaping the benefits still of that World Series and that dynasty.
I mean, it's something like 15% of the games. How can you do that? How can you do that? Makes no sense at all.
Sports, appreciate you tuning in. A lot of heated conversations today, a lot of fun topics to talk about too. Remember, you can follow us and subscribe right here on YouTube. And now you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. We partnered with Anchor. We're up on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, wherever you get them. So if you don't have time to watch us, but you want to hear us, go to one of those sites and rate us and follow us and review us. We'd really appreciate it. But Daniel, thanks a lot, man. Really appreciate this time. Always fun chatting. Always fun.
It was a pleasure. I'll look forward to see what happens next week.
That's right. Another episode coming next week. So stay tuned for that. Until then, thank you all for watching and listening